Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Theme Park Conductor. I am so happy to be doing live streams again, and I hope I'm going to be doing one every week. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to start doing my live streams every Thursday at 7 p.m. and kind of have my own day. So basically what I'm calling it is Conductor Thursday. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. But before we get started, I have a little intro video that I created for the channel, so enjoy. So welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip I had there for you guys. I was working on it. I hope it didn't disappoint. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick before I get started, I don't know if many of you seen, but I've actually changed the logo of my YouTube channel. So tell me what you guys think in the comments about that. I think it looks pretty snazzy in my opinion. And if everyone here in the community really likes this logo, let me know. Because my next step is to start hopefully coming out with some clothing, jackets, hats, coffee cups, shirts. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys like the logo. So one of the first things I'm going to be talking about today is the Fast and Furious construction. I was at Universal Studios Hollywood last night for what they called the AP, which is annual pass holder Takeover event, which was from 8 p.m. to midnight. I ran into several good friends of mine that are also vloggers and YouTubers. One is Theme Park Wizard, great guy, amazing content, whether it's from Universal, Six Flags, Disneyland Resort, or lately in the last year, 2 years, he's been covering a lot of Epic Universe. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But great content creator. Definitely go check him out. The other person that I was hanging out with, besides Wizard and his fiance and a couple of his friends, was Mr. Webba. Mr. Webba and I finally got to meet in person. That was definitely a fun experience. I've never met him in person. I've only done live streams with him on Orange Grove 55. So by doing that, I was able to meet him in person, really dive deep into what he thinks Universal Studios Hollywood's future is with theme park expansion, what we could see from this roller coaster. Is Universal still in the talks of buying Warner Brothers out to move a lot of their production to Warner Brothers, which is literally across the street from Universal. That way it would give Universal the opportunity to tear down some more sound stages that are not new. They've been around for what seems like forever. And the sound stages I'm talking about are obviously on the lower lot behind Super Nintendo World, behind Transformers, stuff like that. Because I know a couple of shows were filming in there. I'm not 100% sure if what shows they are filming in there besides Bel Air. I know Bel Air is filming in there. I don't know if they're actually doing any more like high production shows, movies. They might be shooting some commercials, small stuff. And then Soundstage 12, which a lot of people know what Soundstage 12 is. Back in the early days of the studio, Soundstage 12, which is directly behind Jurassic World, the ride, that was the biggest soundstage on the lot at the time. And now for the last couple years, I would say, the last tenant that used that soundstage was The Voice, but The Voice actually moved to newer sound stages on the back lot that they built and completed, I want to say, in late 2021, early 2022. So that soundstage has been vacant for what seems like forever. Several movies that got filmed in that soundstage was Phantom of the Opera, Jurassic Park. I think even Apollo 13, some of the scenes in there got filmed in there. So a lot of famous movies shot in that soundstage, but a lot of people, including, close friends of mine, they are concerned that, how can I put it? They're concerned about my opinion. My opinion would be, it's already been talked about numerous of times about ripping out that soundstage 12 and ripping out sound stages 7 through 11, because those are the older sound stages that aren't state of the art anymore. They're very old, and they still work. Don't get me wrong, they still work, but they're not up to the high tech quality of the newer sound stages that are built on the back lot. So a lot of speculation early on, and this was even before Nintendo was finished at Hollywood, was that we were supposedly going to get Donkey Kong. But I want to, put the brakes on that for a minute, because I've been told numerous of times that Donkey Kong, there's a great possibility it probably will not come to Hollywood, which I think is a big mistake. One of the things that I talked to Mr. Webba about last night when I was at the AP Takeover event was that, well, if they're not going to bring Donkey Kong, which, again, I thought a lot of people thought Hollywood was going to get it because it was in the contract. And, people let me know, hey, the contract can be amended at any point. So I guess they amended the contract, as far as we all know, and wound up, how can I put it? Wound up scrapping Donkey Kong. Now, I don't know if it's back on the table again. They keep going back and forth. But if Donkey Kong isn't coming to Hollywood, what other Nintendo properties would you like to see? And I asked Mr. Webber that. I asked even Theme Park Wizard that at one point. And some of the suggestions that were made was, oh, well, let's bring maybe The Legends of Zelda, or let's bring let's bring Pokemon, or let's bring Luigi's Mansion. That would be pretty cool. That's another Nintendo property. Or even, and this is a shout out for Mr. Webba. How about Star Fox? Bring Star Fox to Hollywood, something unique. And one thing that's also been talked about for Hollywood for replacement is the Mummy. That whole Mummy area it's giant. It's a huge footprint. But I don't know if many of you people going to ride the Mummy go through the ride outdoor queue, and you see off to the very far right, you have that brick retaining wall right there, and you have those beams sticking out. Supposedly, from what I've heard, that area they're going to carve into the mountain there, the hillside, and that's where the studio tour load and unload area is going to be relocated, supposedly. So that's where that area is popping into. Another thing that was talked about for the Mummy location was, okay, well, let's try to maybe bring another Jurassic World attraction to Hollywood. But what would you bring? Do you really want to copy the Velocicoaster? I guess you could, possibility, but I don't know if that's something that we would actually do. Another suggestion was to build the Beijing version of the Jurassic World ride. I think it's kind of like, if I'm not mistaken, it's either a water ride or it's like an Indiana Jones ride where you're in the Jeep and you have a mixture of practical sets and you have a mixture of screens, but it seems like there's more practical sets than there is screens. And that's something that could come into that footprint. A lot of people also talked about Transformers. Okay, so Transformers, it doesn't really fit the IP. So if they are going to bring another Nintendo property to Hollywood and they're not going to put it behind Super Nintendo World, where can they put it? Transformers is the next best area to put something like that. So that's something to discuss. I don't know what Universal has planned. Theme Park Wizard, he has the inside scoop on a lot of news that is coming from Universal. He has a connection. I can't say who it is because I don't even know who it is myself. But one of the things that I look at is he mentioned about an on-site hotel. And this is, again, all this preparation, all this new stuff that's coming to Hollywood, whether it's to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the studio tour, whether it's bringing the Fast and Furious roller coaster, which we're all excited to see, come to Hollywood, because it is, again, an active movie studio theme park, which other theme parks in the past have tried and failed. Just to name a few, Disney MGM Studios, even Universal Studios Florida, when they had the Nickelodeon studios there. It didn't last long. So Hollywood is very unique in the theme park world. I don't think there's another theme park in the world that I know of that actively shoots movies on property and has a theme park all in one. That's what makes Universal Studios Hollywood unique. So this on-site hotel is supposed to be a copy of the Beijing version of their hotel. And it's supposed to be built in the Woody Woodpecker parking lot, which currently right now that parking lot is right in front of security, and and that's like front gate access parking, which you pay, I think it was like $75 to park there. Once they start building that hotel, which Wizard has already said it's going to be either built sometime this year or early 2025, again, to get ready for the Olympics that's coming in 2028. But I have a concern, and it's not a bad concern. It's just a concern in general. If they're bringing the Fast and Furious roller coaster, that is not a rumor anymore. We are actually watching every single day people that are going into the park, YouTubers, vloggers, news crews that pop in and out of there, checking on the status, KTLA 5 flying their helicopter overhead. But is Universal really just going to bring a roller coaster and bring a on-site hotel, and that's all we're going to get? And then obviously they're going to move the security to the parking structures, but is literally that's all we're going to get? Because they've already concluded that the roller coaster is not going to be officially open until 2026 because of bad weather we had in the winter. It delayed the process 6 months, and that wasn't just the only factor. We had permits that took longer than it should have, surveying that took longer than it should have, a bunch of other things, because the theme park is also surrounded by neighborhoods. People live in those neighborhoods, and they wanted to make sure that the noise pollution wasn't going to be a problem from the roller coaster. So how Universal is going to do that is supposedly they're going to put gravel or some type of sand material inside the columns of the track pieces to eliminate sound. And then they're also going to be building these glass kind of like shields over certain parts of the track to keep it as low sound as much as possible. So that's going on. But do you guys think, post in the comments down below, do you guys think a land, another attraction, or something will come besides a roller coaster that's already happening and the on-site hotel? So I'm kind of curious what that's going to be. And again, Mr. Weber showed up. Thank you, Mr. Weber, for showing up. I appreciate it. Always good to see you. Had a wonderful time with you last night. Definitely got to do it again at Universal or Disney. I know you were hounding me last night to buy a Magic Key. As soon as I can, I will. But we definitely have to hang out again. Mr. Weber, by the way, he has a lot of great content. He's a co-host a lot on the Orange Grove 55 channel, so definitely follow his content. He's absolutely amazing, great guy. He likes. I will say this, Mr. Weber, you do like giving George the Italiano crap, and it's funny. So, congrats on that, because only you can do that. I think you're even better than Orange Grove 55, believe it or not. But I was just saying, Mr. Weber, at the beginning of my live, what do you think of what Universal, like me and you were talking about last night, if they're not going to bring Donkey Kong to the theme park and they're going to bring some type of Nintendo property? We got Donkey Kong, which I'm not eliminating, even though everyone says no. Star Fox, which I know you want. Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion, or Zelda. There's 5 possibilities that Hollywood can bring. 5. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to work. But I think Universal Hollywood, I think they need to bring at least 1 or 2 more things before the Olympics, because I honestly don't believe a roller coaster and a on-site hotel is going to be enough. I know the time limit is thin. I get it. But Universal, whether it's here in Hollywood, Orlando, or even Epic Universe, they have proven if they want to bring something, they will bring it and they will hire the crews to do it, no matter what. Disney, on the other hand, sorry to say, Tron, great example. Felt like it took 10 years to build that roller coaster. And yeah, the excitement's there. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a fun roller coaster, but being bent over the way you have to be bent over to ride those vehicles, I don't know if I'd feel too comfortable about that. But, everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess. But I want to post something on here. So let me do that now. Let me share my screen here. Okay, let me do that. Oh, whoops. Okay, let me do that. Okay. First of all, I want to post this real quick. I want to put this on here. What do you guys think about this concept art? I know it's a little grainy. I'm sorry about that. But what do you think about this? Now that we have confirmation that it's going to be called Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, what do you guys think? I think this facade right here looks amazing. How can you not like having this sports car to your left here, left of the screen, and then you got the big signage and whatnot. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. I personally like it. What do you guys think? Obviously, we're not going to get that. I'm going to call it a rooster tail. I'm going to call it that. I know it's not called that, but I'm going to call it that. Obviously, we're not getting that rooster tail that you see above the entrance of the building. But, what do you guys think? I think that's a great looking facade, if not something very close to that. I think inside the ride queue, they should have vehicles from the actual movie, because it's already been confirmed by, I'm not going to say confirmed. I'm going to say there's a high possibility that the Fast and Furious franchise is coming to an end. So why not take some of their movie cars that they have on the picture car lot and stick them in this ride queue, like Dom's Dodge Charger, and you got Paul Walker's car, some of the other vehicles. That would be pretty sick. I wouldn't be opposed to that. So Mr. Webba actually said, had a blast with you last night, man. Thanks for the shout out. Honestly, if they show Pokemon that really needs a Cars or Galaxy's Edge land, at least, there's so much Pokemon in regions. I would agree with that. I would honestly agree with that. If they're going to bring Pokemon, they have to start like yesterday. Because Pokemon, just like Nintendo, you got to be really careful on what you're going to bring to at least this theme park, because of space and the detail that you're going to have to do is, I think, even more critical than Nintendo itself. Like Mario and Luigi and all, I think Pokemon's that much higher. So yeah, if they're going to bring that, they got to bring it like yesterday. And we're not even close to building the roller coaster, the hotel yet. So that scares me. So we got to kick it into high gear, and hopefully we do. But one thing I do want to share real quick. Give me 1 second here, because I'm going to go to my my account here, because I posted some pictures. Okay, so let me go here real quick. Okay, so This was the Sprite Lounge they had for the event last night. Pretty cool. One thing I will say is, compared to an event that I was telling Mr. Webb like 2 years ago, and Coca-Cola, they had it in the plaza upstairs in the upper lot. They had the DJ and everything. Coca-Cola was testing out a new Coke that they came out with, a new drink, and they were giving out actual full cans. So that was pretty cool. The Sprite Lounge, don't get me wrong, it was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome. But they were giving out like the little mini cans. And I looked at Webba and I'm like, are you serious? I'm going to take 2 sips of this and I'm going to be done with my drink. But before I say anything else, Universal, I said this to Mr. Webba and I said this to Theme Park Wizard. Universal knows how to take care of their past members. That I will 100% back every single time. Every single time. Disney, when they do an event, sorry to say it, unless I miss something, they don't really, they don't really take care of their members or their pass holders. I personally don't think. I don't know what everyone else's opinion is. Again, I'm not judging or Disney. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But let me show you guys something real quick. I have it right here. So at the event, they gave out this lanyard here. You see this? This lanyard's pretty cool because it's unique and it's a keepsake, right? So on the back of it, I'm going to try to get this as close as I can to the camera. I don't know if you guys can read that very well, but do you see what I see? Look at that. You get party zone, event, exclusive beverage, special 15% off, which you don't get 15% off at Universal unless you're a platinum member, and the world famous studio tour. I think I was just saying the last was 9:15. Mario Kart stayed open until 10, and then again, Universal. Again, they know how to take care of their past members. That's all I'm going to say. Again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not judging. I'm not, shooting darts at only Disney, because Universal has its faults as well. But when it comes to past member events, I think Universal crushes Disney on that, at least for now. So Disney, if you're listening, you guys need to step it up a little bit. That's all I'm going to say about that. But as I posted more pictures, this was an update. I went in the Super Nintendo World last night, and this area here, this is on the upper lot, just right above Bowser Jr. Little mini game, and so for anyone that doesn't know about Bowser Jr., you have to get the 3 keys so you can get them at the mini games around the land to enter Bowser Jr.'s castle for that mini game, to try to defeat him and get back the golden mushroom. Well, above that is this lookout area. So in this area here, when the land opened, it was like, just regular power boxes you can hit and get coins. But from what I heard, they actually are putting in the element that Japan has in their frozen little area. It's like I don't know if it's a mini game. It might be, but it's definitely interactive and it's a screen. So I'm kind of curious what this is going to look like. So anyone going to Universal, if they have this open and you see it open, definitely take pictures, videos, whatever, and tag me in it, because I'm really curious to see what it looks like inside when they're done with this. But as we scroll up, because I posted a lot last night. There's me at the Sprite Lounge. Let me go down. Okay, let's talk about this. So these are the new lockers that they opened up for Forbidden Journey. These are the outdoor lockers that Orlando's had for the last couple of years, because they had the same problem that we had for the longest time, where they had the lockers right inside the castle next to Filters Emporium, in that little tiny area where they have the lockers inside. It was always congested and no one can move. It was just really bad. And it was really bad, especially during COVID, because COVID, they were always encouraging to stay 6 feet apart, which that was never going to happen. But they were, so that little tiny area felt so cramped. So when I went on the ride last night, I didn't ride it, but I walked into the castle where the old lockers are, and they have that area roped off now. So it makes me believe one or two things. One, they're going to keep those lockers as backups for, if they need extra lockers, or they're going to rip those lockers out and extend Filters Emporium gift shop, which you exit into after the ride, and extend it in that area. So one or two possibilities are going to happen with that. So that was definitely interesting. You know what? Okay. I'm sharing my screen now, right now, Mr. Webba, but Mr. Webba made a good point here. He said, I feel better treated as a past member at this event than I have at Disney, and I love Disneyland. So just to quote that real quick, Webba is, I would say he's close to a hardcore Disney fan. And for a somewhat hardcore Disney fan to say that Universal treats its past members better than Disney, and that's coming from a hardcore Disney fan, that should be concerning right there to Disney. That's what I'm saying. And I told Mr. Webber last night. So for like the Oogie Boogie event, I get it. It's it's for kids. I get it. It's not, for us typical fans that like to get scared beyond belief. They have, they do kind of a little cheesy event. I did it one year just to say I did it. I probably would never do it again unless I had kids, which I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, yeah, Disney, you really got to step up your game. So if you're watching this, or, one of your fans or people that work at the Disney company is watching this, step up your game. That's all I'm going to say. So the next picture we're going to look at here. Okay. So this is the track they installed yesterday morning. I was watching this at work, actually. I was working yesterday morning on my job, and I kept getting updates, and my phone kept blowing up. And they installed this yesterday morning, which is very interesting. And these things right here on the bottom of the track, those are kind of like compression brakes to help the train. I'm going to call it a train. I know it's not a train, but the train to slow down. That's what these low-hanging things are. They're brakes. So that's what that is. But then as of today, I don't have a picture of it at the moment. It looks like they built, I think there's another section of a track on this platform. I think they built that out too. So it looks exactly like this. So they're really starting to move hard, which is really a good sign. So I'm hoping by the time HHN, and we're going to get into HHN here in a little bit, I'm hoping by the time HHN starts on September the 5th, I'm hoping we see at least a quarter of the track in place. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see what happens, because who knows what this winter season's going to bring, and it's probably going to cause issues with rain and God knows what else. So hopefully they can get most of the track up, or at least close to half of it by the time summer ends. So we'll see what happens. The next thing we're going to look at, just some more updates about the coaster on the hillside. They added more footers here. I don't think I can zoom in. Yeah, no, I can't zoom in, but all these boxes, these pylons here, they added in the last couple weeks. So that's pretty incredible. And then, HHN is the current status of the house behind the Parisian, or in the Parisian courtyard next to Mel's Diner and the Palace Market. This is the current status of that. So really going hard. And then let me exit out of here real quick. See what other updates I posted. Okay, real quick. I know this is off topic. This thing right here, this butterbeer popcorn bucket, Universal's really stepping up their game with the popcorn bucket. Between this, which Orlando's getting, which I want now, because it looks amazing, and then this. Hold on. I got this to show you. I got my own Glamour Tram popcorn bucket. See, it says the 60th Studio Tour, Glamour Tram. Oh, let me get my fingers out of there. See that? And then, of course, you got Woody Woodpecker driving. And then let me play the sound that he makes. Watch this. Isn't that cool? I love this thing. This thing's amazing. But I was telling Mr. Webba I had to buy this at the end of the night for the event, because you can obviously see this thing's like a tank. I didn't want to carry this around all night and damage it. So, but yeah, that's a pretty amazing popcorn bucket for the 60th anniversary. And then this thing is absolutely amazing as well. So I'm very excited about that. But let me go back to my screen here, and you know what? Let's get into HHN real quick. So let me type that in really quick. Okay, let's get into that. Okay, so tickets dropped this morning, kind of around, I think it was like 10:45, somewhere around there. You can buy tickets, and then immediately, I think it was immediately right after that, after the tickets dropped, they announced A Quiet Place. Who's excited for that? I'm excited for that. Are you? Who's excited for that? Because I really want to see how this is going to look. I'm going to play the video right now, so you can see the video they came out with. So let's watch.
Warning: unusual audio-visual activity in your
I'm sorry. I didn't even have my mic on. I didn't even realize that. My fault. Um, Basically, what I was saying is, let me go back real quick because I have to backtrack. I didn't even realize I didn't have my mic on. My fault. Sorry, guys. So this house right here got announced. It's a quiet place. It got announced this morning. Then ticket prices dropped. So now tickets are on sale for Halloween Horror Nights at Hollywood. So that's exciting. Then we were just going over some of the details, general information, basic stuff they post every year. But I was literally going to start talking about this right here. So the single day event tickets, general admission. I was just saying before I realized I had my mic off, was that the ticket prices seem to be cheaper than they have been in previous years. Maybe I don't remember exactly, but I will say this. When it gets closer to the event, which the first night of the event is September the 5th, so mark that on your calendar, whoever is going to the event. As it's getting closer to the event, ticket prices will go up. As the event's going on and it gets towards the end, ticket prices will go up again, depending on crowds. So keep that in mind. So general admission, it's $77. Then under that, you have Universal Express, which Universal Express, I am going to say this, it's a one-time per house, and I think also ride and attraction, a one-time go-through. So it's just like Universal Express during the day at Universal. Same thing applies. So basically it says right here, ticket valid for one Universal Express admission to Halloween Horror Nights event. Tickets include same-day access to Super Nintendo World from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Subject to change plus one time. Per day express access to each haunted house ride, excluding, okay, so this is important, excluding Mario Kart. So that's excluding that. Daytime admission to the park is not included. Event begins at 7 p.m., subject to change. And then tickets not include early access. So we'll get into that too. So let me click out of that. Okay. So the one right below this, Universal Express Unlimited. Okay, so there's a difference between this and this. Universal Express Unlimited, basically in the nutshell, it's the same thing as Universal Express, but unlimited. So you can go through the houses in the express line as many times as you want for the day you're going. And same thing goes with rides and attractions as well. Then under that, you have the after 2 p.m. day and night combo. This is $117. So let's take a look at that real quick. So this is basically saying tickets valid for one after 2 p.m. daytime general admission to the park and the same day evening general admission to the Halloween Horror Nights event. Ticket includes same-day access to Super Nintendo World from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. subject to change, plus early event access to select houses starting at 5:30. So keep that in mind as well. That's also subject to change. Depending on crowd conditions, virtual line reservations may be required to enter Super Nintendo World. So that's what the after 2 p.m. offers. Then after 2 p.m. day-night combo, same thing. Offers the same thing, but Universal Express. So that's what this is. This right here. Okay. If no one has done Halloween Horror Nights, or if you have and you always feel like you're kind of getting shorthanded, I would really highly recommend, if you can afford it, to do this, because you get a special lanyard that's exclusive only for RAP. It's exclusive for the Halloween Horror Nights event. And then you get valet parking, which is validated. So that's nice. You get like I said, you get the exclusive lanyard that's themed to Halloween Horror Nights for that year. You also get a 1 hour exclusive buffet, which is a 4 to 5 course buffet, which takes place in the Moulin Rouge, which also Moulin Rouge for HHN 4 only RIP guests has a little backdrop that's themed with Halloween Horror Nights, and you also get a picture with your own exclusive scare actor. So that's something to look forward to. Also, with the buffet, you also get your own private cash bar. So a little bar is set up so you can order cocktails, alcohol, whatever you want. So that's something to look forward to. And then I think around like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, they invite all the RIP tour guests back at any point for, I think, about an hour or so. It's at your discretion if you want. And they put out desserts and stuff like that. So that's something to look forward to. Also with this, so last year and the years prior, they have in each house, not inside the house, but outside the house in the line queues, they have a exclusive line queue just for RIP tour guests. So the credentials you have, it's very similar to what this looks like, but it's Halloween Horror Nights themed. And on the back of it, you have like a barcode that they'll scan, which is usually towards the bottom here. So last year, Universal decided to do something very interesting and something I didn't care for. For RAP Tour, once you went through the houses the one time with the tour guide, if you wanted to do the houses again on your own, which you can do that if you want, after the tours ended, you couldn't use the RIP tour line after the one time you did it with the tour guide, which I think that was not right of Universal to do. I think, quite honestly, they should have allowed RIP tour guests to use the RIP tour line queue in each house or outside each house as many times as they want, especially since that's the highest paying ticket for the event. I think they need to reconsider, like they've done in years past, and allow RIP tour guests to use the RIP tour line as many times as they want, with the one time with the guide and as many times as they want without the guide until the event is closed for the night. So Universal, John Murdy, whoever's listening, I really hope you guys bring that back, because you need to, because we pay enough for it and it's only fair and it's only right. So please bring it back. That's what I'm going to ask for. But RIP Tour, if you can afford it, definitely do it. I'm going to highly recommend it. Definitely do it. It's definitely worth it. So the final thing I'm going to talk about here on this page is Halloween Horror Nights Early Access Ticket. So I want to make it extremely clear, and I want to emphasize this as much as humanly possible. This is not a general admission ticket for the event. This is not. This is only to add as a add-on to your already purchased general admission ticket. If you want to get into the event, I think it's an hour or an hour and 20 minutes before the event starts and opens to everybody that bought a ticket for that night, which is at 7 o'clock. And there will be select HHN houses that are available to start queuing up for and line up for to walk in to these houses. I don't know which ones, because they usually announce those type of details once all the houses are released and everyone knows what houses are coming to the event. So again, I want to emphasize this. This is not a general admission ticket. This is a add-on that you can add to your already purchased general admission ticket for the event. So definitely keep that in mind. The other thing I want to talk about, freaking fear. Okay. I did this when I first started going to the event. I did this back in 2016. That's how long I've been going to the event. Freaking fear. You get up to 33 nights. Not bad. But it's 33 nights. And to compare to the Ultimate Fear Pass, which is another $120. So let's take a look at this one real quick. The Frequent Fear, which everyone does. Okay, so they did a comparison. So this is easier to look at. So the Frequent Fear, which is right now it's on sale for $209. You get up to 33 nights. The Ultimate Fear, which is $329, you get up to 40 nights, which is every single night. Again, the event starts on September the 5th. Also, as well, September. So these are all the dates that the event is going on for access with the Frequent Fear. And then they don't even have dates over here because it's every single night the event is offered. That's what this pass offers over here. No blackout dates. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. $329 or $209 for people that buy that pass. I used to buy it, but I live too far away to buy that pass, so I'm not doing that. I'm gonna sink my teeth into doing the RIP tour. That seems to be the best bang for my buck. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Also, pass members. Let's click on this real quick. So I think you get a discount for buying. So being a pass member, I think you can buy. Okay, so let's see. I think you can get a discount for the event. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure you can get a discount. And then this right here. Okay, this is what I wanted to get to. Platinum pass holders like myself, reserve your complimentary, which, again, platinum pass members, only platinum pass members get an exclusive, any night they want, complimentary admission in the Halloween Horror Nights, but it changed this year compared to all the other years where you could just show up. This year, Universal Studios Hollywood, they changed it. So let's read this very carefully. Platinum Pass members enjoy one complimentary general admission per valid Platinum annual pass to Halloween Horror Nights 2024. These are all the dates. And then advance online reservation required to redeem your complimentary ticket. And you can reserve that now. So definitely look out for that. If you're a platinum pass holder and you don't want to pay admission to get into the part or get into the event, you can reserve one date, one day for the event. And these are all the dates that are offered for that. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Let me go out of here real quick. Yeah, so they did the nighttime spectacular show for Hogwarts. I thought it was absolutely incredible. I haven't seen that in about 3-4 years. I know they've been doing it all this time, but me personally, I haven't seen it because usually when I go to Universal and film updates, I usually get there early in the morning. I walk in as the gates are opened, and I leave by mid-afternoon. So I never really stay at night because I live so far away. Also, for Epic Universe, they have released an app. You can find it on the App Store. I'm pretty sure for both Google Play and Apple. So look. If you're curious about it, go download it, check it out, see what it's all about. What else? Yes. Okay. So I talked about this briefly at the beginning of my video. I'm going to try to do a live from home every single week on Thursday, and they're going to be called Conductor Thursdays. So every Thursday at 7 o'clock, I will be doing a live stream. So definitely mark that in your calendars. I will post it in the community tab on both YouTube and also Twitter. So definitely take advantage of that. If you're not subscribed and you're not following my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, Threads, you're really missing out. Because I do a lot of live streams, not from home. I'm slowly starting to get back into that. I do get invited by Orange Grove 55 a lot to co-host with him and George the Italiano a lot, talking about Disneyland Forward, talking about Universal, talking about future expansions of both theme parks out here in SoCal to, again, get ready for the Olympics. So definitely check out Orange Grove 55. I'm actually going to be doing a video with him on Monday, supposedly. I'll let you guys know in the community if that changes, but more than likely I'm going to be doing a video with him on Monday, and it'll probably premiere on Tuesday morning, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely look out for that. I'll post a link to that. What else? What else did I want to talk about? There was something else. I also brought up earlier in the video at the beginning. I changed my logo of my my YouTube channel. This is the new logo right here. What do you guys think about it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you have any, opinions about it? Because I can show you what used to be my logo. And speaking of that, let's take a look real quick. I think I have a picture of it. Let me look. Oh man. You know what? Let me go back to Twitter real quick because I think I did have it. Actually, I have it. Where is it? I know I had it here somewhere, actually. I just gotta find it. I'm trying to do dual screens here. That's an old video, by the way. Don't pay attention to that. It's far more progress than you would imagine. But let's see. Let me go back to my page here. Bear with me for a second, guys. Okay, this is an up close and personal picture of those new outdoor lockers for Forbidden Journey at Universal Hollywood. They finally got the lockers built and set up and well themed. And also, just to let you know, no fingerprint scanners on these. So they got away from that. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Okay, where in the heck is... Oh man, probably changed it because I changed the logo. Yeah, I probably changed it. Oh, you know what? Actually, there is something I want to talk about. This right here. Who's excited for this? This was the dancing cars on the studio tour back in the early 2000s. And now they're theming it to a dino padlock Jurassic World type experience, which probably the tram's going to drive in there. What do you guys think about that? I think it's pretty interesting, say so myself. And then they updated some of the Jurassic Park area of the studio tour. This is for the 60th. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So there's the T-Rex. They didn't have that before. They brought him back out. But this area has been closed off for quite some time due to there was a tram accident where supposedly a guest fell out of the tram and they're having issues, so they had to close this section off. But that's pretty amazing. Let's see, what other updates. I took a picture of this. I haven't put it on my Instagram yet or Twitter, but they upgraded the mural on this.
Make this into a poster.
There's 5 fires.
Put it on merch. This needs to be on something. I want to buy this.
I would agree with you.
Freaking cool.
I agree with Mondo on that statement. If they put down the shirt, hands down, I would buy that. Hands down. I think anyone would buy that. Freaking amazing.
Get on the studio tours. If you want to check it out, come get a photo with it.
So,
dude, this is so.
Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, so I posted pictures about this. This is when it first opened. This is inside the main studio, Universal Studio store on the upper lot. So now you have the option to personalize merchandise that you buy in the theme park. So these are the prices right here: engraving $5, embroidery $9, embroidery $20, embellishment $20. I still don't understand what embellishment is, and then these are some of the items you can do, examples. And there's their little machine, and they have some other stuff, Duck Beer shirt, but pretty amazing. Let's see, what else do they got? What else? I posted this a while back. This was Japan. Their Donkey Kong. Look how amazing that looks. I am not gonna lie. I really wish to God that we would get this at Hollywood. Look how amazing that is. So Japan actually. So I don't know if you guys saw it. Let me go back real quick. See this right here, his mouth? So originally water, that was supposed to be a water fountain that came out of his mouth. Now, I think Orlando, Epic Universe, they might begin that feature, but Japan decided to go with the fog feature. So, but look how cool that looks. That looks freaking amazing. Hollywood, I don't care how the heck you do it. Bring Donkey Kong. I know everyone's going to get mad at me for saying that, but bring Donkey Kong. I'm not even joking about that. Look how freaking amazing that looks. That looks incredible. I want that so bad. So bad. And then let's see. Yeah, they have they have the new ice cream shop and the candy store. This ice cream shop was not originally with the land. When it opened, it recently just got built and finished and completed a couple months ago. I didn't try any of the ice cream yet. My next go around, I will try it, 100%. But look how amazing that looks. So, just to recap, Florian's ice cream parlor. This, for the longest time, was only exclusive to Diagon Alley in Orlando. But now we have it here in Hollywood in the candy store. So, then this is the souvenir cup you can buy. I think it's like a hard plastic, but it's still pretty cool. Let's see. I'm just going over anything that... Okay, this. Again, you see this lanyard here? You see this badge? This is what I'm talking about. Universal really has stepped up their game with their merch, popcorn buckets, passes, everything. Disney, if you're watching this, you really got to learn something from this. Because Universal is being you left, right, and sideways on that. That's that popcorn bucket I showed you earlier. There's some of the merch that they're selling. The Woody Woodpecker tumbler shirt, bun shirt. Pretty cool. Some themed cookies. And then you got pretzels. Looks like donuts. Popcorn. Pretty cool. But yeah. One thing I wanted to look up real quick. There we go. Because they probably posted updates about John Murdy. There you go. Running around. I don't know. Oh, okay. This was in 2022. I've met him. He is the creator, one of the creators of Halloween Horror Nights every single year. He is an amazing guy. If you see him walking around during the event, definitely say hi. He welcomes it. Great guy. John Murdy. Amazing. Let's see. Did they post anything about the merch? I thought, okay, here we go. This was also dropped this morning. This wasn't here at the studio store last night when I was there. But they already have Halloween Horror Nights merch. The Quiet Place shirt. And it says, Rule 1, don't make a sound, obviously. Coffee mug, which is pretty cool. And I think that's all they have at the moment. Then that was that video I showed earlier. I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to stay on this live for about 10 minutes. So at 8:30, I'm going to end this live. I want to thank everyone that joined the live. And appreciate everybody that follows me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Threads, on Discord, YouTube. Every single one of you, doesn't matter who you are, you all make a difference. You all encourage me every single time I get a follower, I get a subscriber. Anytime I get any messages from you guys, in the comments about any content I put out or just general questions in theory, you guys encourage me every single day to put out content. You encourage me and inspire me to bring and work hard to provide the news for you guys. For a lot of you that maybe not around theme parks, especially Universal or Disney at all. You might be in a state that doesn't have a theme park, or maybe it does. So I'm glad I can be the voice for you guys. I'm glad I can conduct the news for you and bring it to you. I so much appreciate it. You guys have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. And then let's see. Let me go back here real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna just point something out. Jesse, he posted your Instagram page is really helpful for on-time updates. Well, Jesse, I deeply appreciate you saying that. I do my absolute best. Whenever I see an update, I always try to, if I can't be at the theme parks, which a lot of times I can't, unless I have a day off. If I see it on Instagram or Twitter, I'm always posting about it. So I'm glad, Jesse, that I could be such a help to you so you could stay updated on everything that's going on with Universal, with Disney, with Epic Universe, Halloween Horror Nights, whatever it is with the theme parks. I'm glad I can be that voice for you. I'm glad I can provide that news for you and everybody. That way everyone's informed, no one's in shock and says, hey, I didn't know about that. I just don't think that's right. I think if people, especially us influencers and YouTubers, have news, especially when it comes to theme park news or whatever it might be, it's always a good thing to put it out there for everyone that isn't a content creator or isn't someone that covers theme parks or entertainment news. It's always good to put the news out there and let people know what's going on. So thank you, Jesse. I deeply appreciate it. And I'll keep making you proud and everyone else proud by providing that news for you. But again, I had a blast last night at Universal for the AP Takeover event. I'm glad I was hanging out with theme park wizard, Mr. Webba, couple of theme park wizards friends, his new fiance. I'm glad I was able to hang out with them. Saw a lot of interesting updates because I haven't been to Universal besides last night 2 months, so it was a lot to see, especially with the roller coaster. With the new lockers that opened up at Hogsmeade for Forbidden Journey for Harry Potter. It was good to see the ice cream parlor that opened up and the candy store that was forever exclusive to Diagon Alley in Orlando's Harry Potter. It was also good to see a lot of the HHN houses going up. That was also incredible to see. How can I put this? What do you guys, how can I put this? Let me ask this. What do you guys want to see come to Hollywood? Not Orlando, not Japan, Hollywood. Whether it's rides, experiences, shows, hotels, characters, what would you guys like to see come? I really would like to understand and would really like to know what you guys would like to see. So definitely post in the comments down below. Jesse also posted, I feel like The Quiet Place is really good for a maze. I absolutely agree with that. I'm super excited for that house. I'm super excited. Jesse, I know I've been on for about an hour and 23 minutes here. One of the other houses that hasn't been officially announced, but we're all of us that cover Universal, especially Halloween Horror Nights. One of the houses in the little H lot behind Curious George that you can see from the studio tour just before you get off the studio tour that you pass by. One of those houses facade, it is going to be based off of Insidious, the new Insidious movie. And one thing I do want to say from years prior of Universal bringing this event or this house, I'm really hoping to God that this house this year will not have a lot of black walls, because I know one year they had this house. It was in the extended queue area of Jurassic World. That's where they had the house, and me and another friend that I've known since elementary school. Me and him went through it, and I was very disappointed because it seemed like there was a lot of black walls and not a lot of themed elements. So I'm really hoping they don't do that this year, because if they do, it would put a sour taste in my mouth. So I really hope to God John Murray doesn't do that. So we'll see what happens. Jesse also posted, right now we need for shows, because we lost 2 in the upper lot, and we already have that great looking roller coaster on the way that we desperately need. Okay, so I agree with you on that. We needed the roller coaster that needed to be built. The 2 shows, I also agree with you. We need to figure out somewhere, I don't know where, in Hollywood's park, to bring another show back to the theme park. Now, there are some suggestions out there. Let me ask you this, Jesse, and let me ask everyone in the chat, in the live stream. What would you guys think about the Bourne Spectacular coming to Hollywood? What would you guys think about that? Because I'm kind of curious. I think it would be pretty amazing. I personally like the Bourne movies, so having a Bourne show would be pretty cool. But what do you guys think? Because I definitely agree with you, Jesse. We do need another show. Waterworld is getting old quick, and it's getting tired out. So I don't mind Waterworld staying there or staying at Universal, but I do 100% agree we do need another show. That is not negotiable. We need another show. Jesse also said, yeah, that would be really cool. I saw that once in Orlando. It was great. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this, Jesse. I've never been to Orlando. I would love to go sometime, probably in the hopeful future. So with the limitations of space that we have in Hollywood, would you think it would be a great idea to bring that show to Hollywood? And if they brought that show to Hollywood, in your opinion, where would you put it in the theme park? Because I have my suggestions where it can go. I have 2 suggestions where it can go. One is in the DreamWorks Theater. They can definitely retrofit that to fit that show in there. That other one, I'm thinking possibly, I don't know how they would actually do it, I'm thinking maybe in the cowboy. I don't know if you remember, Jesse, right outside the entrance of Universal, they had a cowboy themed restaurant that they closed years back. This is, I think, a year or two before COVID happened. If Universal enclosed that area and put the Bourne Spectacular over there, what would you think? What would you think about that area? I know a lot of people that are hardcore theme park vloggers would say, "What, are you crazy?" But I think it's possible. What do you think, Jesse? Jesse says it's a pretty big building for that show. It would probably have to be in a soundstage. Okay. Well, depending on what soundstage and which soundstage. Jesse, like I was saying earlier in my live stream, Universal has plans on the lower lot behind Super Nintendo World, behind Transformers, all those sound stages. Supposedly, it's been talked about dozens of times. All those sound stages are going to probably be ripped out, and that is all going to be theme park expansion. From what I've heard time and time again. So yeah, I could go on a soundstage. It would have to be a soundstage that's close enough to the theme park, but not going to be a soundstage that's going to be in the way of future theme park expansion. So that's something, again, Universal has to pay attention to, because I wish our theme park was bigger. It's not. I wish it was, but we have to deal with what we have to deal with. So Universal, especially Hollywood, it is a constant back and forth battle on what can come to Hollywood because of space restrictions. So that is always a concern for me. But let me ask you this. How can I put this? Because supposedly, when they were building Super Nintendo World here in Hollywood and in Japan, because Orlando's didn't even exist yet, Epic Universe at the time, when Hollywood was just getting our theme, our Super Nintendo World built. Epic Universe didn't really exist. It was a big giant dirt field. And they were talking about bringing Donkey Kong at one point to Hollywood. What do you think about that? What do you think about Donkey Kong, the expansion, the land being brought to Hollywood? Would you like it to come, or would you want some other Nintendo property like let's see, like Luigi's Mansion or Zelda or Star Fox or Pokemon? What do you think? Personally, for me, I would love to have Donkey Kong come to Hollywood. The area they want to put it in, supposedly at the time they were talking about it, was sound stages 7 through 12, which is directly behind Super Nintendo World as it sits today. Because those sound stages aren't really used as much anymore because they are outdated. They do use them for Bel Air, the show Bel Air, and they shoot commercials in there once in a while, but a lot of those sound stages back there are outdated and are already destined to be ripped out and torn out. But Donkey Kong for me, I think they said they mapped it out because they took the acreage measurements of what Japan was getting, their version, and our version would be more superior, like Orlando's is going to be, because it's a bigger space. But I think for Hollywood, if they brought Donkey Kong to Hollywood, they could definitely customize it where it's something of an experience inside the land where it's only exclusive to Hollywood. So Orlando wouldn't have it, Japan wouldn't have it, only Hollywood. So that's what I would like to see come. You posted, let's see. So I heard that Pokemon would be replacing Simpsons Ride. So a Donkey Land would be great. I 100% agree with you. The only thing I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in, and I'm just going to, again, all open to opinion. I think because they are in the process after, I think it's going to be after Halloween Horror Nights, and also after, after Halloween Horror Nights and the 60th anniversary of the studio tour, they are going to be relocating the studio tour load area to behind the Mummy ride building. They're going to carve into the hillside and put the loading area there for the studio tour. My thing is on that, the Simpsons area, that show building cannot be used for another attraction. It's been posted. I've talked to cast members that work on that attraction, work in that land. That show building has been there since E.T. Has been there. Or not E.T., I'm sorry. Back to the Future has been there. And the building is actually not safe. Universal keeps putting Band-Aids on it. So the next time you go to Universal and you feel courageous enough to ride that ride, you'll notice that you only go on one side of the ride building because the other side is basically abandoned. And the ride vehicles that are on that abandoned side, they are being stripped for parts for the active side of the ride building that the vehicles are used for everyday theme park guests. So that building, that whole area right there is kind of sinking in a way and not structurally sound as it once was. So that ride building or that show ride building has to be demolished and gone permanently. And a lot of talks, and I've talked about it with other content creators as well. There is a possibility, not guaranteed, but possibility that the Hogwarts Express, so King's Cross Station, will be built in that area. They will have the Hogwarts Express built, and it will drive down to the Falls Lake area, where Falls Lake is, and where Jupiter's Claim is, and they possibly, don't quote me on this, they possibly will rip out that show building element that the Fast and Furious Supercharged is currently in, and use that whole area for Diagon Alley, possibly, or the Ministry of Magic land that Orlando Epic Universe is getting. And at some area in that lot, they are probably, not guaranteed, going to be bringing Hagrid's motorbike adventure to Hollywood as well. That is what I've heard. That is the strongest rumor I've heard. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm not opposed to Pokemon being in that area or even coming to Hollywood, but me personally, I would like to have the King's Cross Station, the Hogwarts Express, and have either Diagon Alley or the Ministry of Magic land alongside Hagrid's motorbike come to Hollywood for that area at least. So that's what I'm looking at. Orange Go 55, thank you so very much for posting that. Orange Go 55 is a dear friend of mine, great content creator. He just not too long ago hit his 5,000 subscriber mark, and he continues to put out amazing content. And I'm going to be on this show on Monday, I believe. So stay tuned for that. But Orange Grove 55, great content creator, very close friend. So any of you in my live stream that don't follow him, definitely consider subscribing to him. Again, amazing content. He just did a live stream with Mondo from Five Fires. I watched it this morning. Orange Grove 55, absolutely amazing. Great job, you and George, the Italiano. Great job. Thank you again, OG, for posting that. I appreciate it. Jesse says, "Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Again, don't quote me on that. I would like to see that come to Hollywood. I think it's definitely warranted. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But more than likely, it's probably not going to be anywhere built before the Olympics. So just try to keep that in the back of your mind if it does come to Hollywood, because we're looking at least 2 or 3 years for that to be built if it does come to Hollywood." And then you also said, "Yeah, I think I would rather have Harry Potter there." Yeah. The indications to me that they want to expand Harry Potter into that area, into the studio tour area that resides there today, is the fact that Harry Potter would fit there. I don't see why not. I really do not. I think it would be a great addition to Hollywood. And again, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you're just copying Orlando, and you're being a copycat park." But here's what I say to that. I say any land that is copied from another theme park, doesn't matter if it's from Japan, doesn't matter if it's from Orlando, doesn't matter from where, doesn't matter. They can always customize it. They can always tweak it and make it unique and exclusive only to Hollywood, where people would have to fly out to Hollywood and go into Hollywood Universal to experience it, where they cannot experience it at any other Universal park. So keep that in mind. That I strongly believe that. Orange Go 55 says, "Do you think Disney should do AP nights similar to what Universal did last night?" So, Orange Go 55, I'm going to talk to you about that on Monday when I'm on your live as well. But I will say this. I do think Disney should take a hard look at Universal's AP nights and step up their game, I would say, because they can really take advantage of that. So to answer your question, yes, I do believe that. I do believe that strongly, because and again, I want to make it very clear. you know, Universal, they do things for their past members, whether it's to gain leverage, footing, whatever you call it, against Disney. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm not saying as a past member, whether it's at Disney, whether it's at Universal, Six Flags, Knott's, whatever, I am going to say this. I am not someone that craves like free stuff, but I'm not going to be opposed to it. So when Universal decides to close down the park early and have it open for their annual pass holders and give out free drinks, and by what I mean by free drinks is like soda and whatnot, and have DJs and themed areas, I'm not opposed to that. I am not opposed to that. Mr. Webba, actually, so I was talking to you, OG, last night, texting you back and forth. Mr. Webba, he was actually very surprised how Universal handled their AP nights. So I think Disney can really study Universal very hard and take a page out of their playbook and really step it up. So I honestly believe that. Jesse said, just like the different mummy ride in Orlando and Hollywood. Yes. So just to touch up on that, the reason why Hollywood is a lot shorter track, and the reason why when you're riding it, you stop at that one spot and then you go backwards, so you stop and you see the Beatles coming out and whatnot. That area right there, originally, and the original concept, if I'm not mistaken, that was actually going to be like an outdoor portion where the track was actually going to go outside the building. But when they built the Mummy, and they replaced, I forgot what was in there. I think it was E.T. at the time. They replaced that. The studio was surrounded on the lower lot. So where Super Nintendo World sits right now, that was sound stages. So they couldn't really have an outdoor coaster because that was way too close to the sound stages and it was going to cause noise pollution. That's why ours is a lot shorter, or a little bit shorter, than Orlando's. So, but just to quote something, Hollywood's version of the Mummy is going away. It is not going to be staying forever. It is on its way out. So, Mr. Webber says, hey, at Orange Grove 55. Yes, Mr. Webber, again, great time with you last night, making fun of George. I love it. George, we're making fun of you last night. OG, you had to be there. It was great. It was amazing. Definitely, everyone in the chat, definitely check out Mr. Webber's social medias, YouTube. He's another amazing content creator. So definitely follow him and subscribe to his channel. Orange Grove 55 says, "What's up, Webber?" They're close friends, just like me and Orange Grove 55 are. Very close. Jesse, Mr. Webber says hi. But yeah, again, I see a bright future for Hollywood, but again, they have to be careful what they bring into that park because of space limitations. So that is always a concern to me and to anybody that goes to Universal. Even the people that work there, they just have to be careful on what they bring, because a lot of people were disappointed about Super Nintendo World. I was one of them. I'm not going to say the land, isn't amazing. It's definitely immersive. It has some, unfortunately, it has some sight line problems with the Comcast building you can see, and When you're on the second level outside the Bowser's castle, waiting to go inside the castle, you could see the Jurassic World and all that. So it does have some sightline issues. It does have some issues with some of the interactive elements, whether it's the AR binoculars or it's the yellow flooring that's in the land that gets very dirty very quickly, or it's Toadstool Cafe. Last time I ate at Toadstool Cafe, I was really looking forward to having the Bowser's Challenge big meatball. It's a spicy meatball. It's like really good. They didn't have it. Then I tried to get, I think it was the beef short rib, which is another amazing food item that Toadstool Cafe offers. That's a restaurant inside the land. They didn't have that either. So they have that problem. And then the fact that we are the only Super Nintendo World so far that only has one ride. Orlando's is getting actually 3 rides. They're getting the Mario Kart ride, which all 3 lands have. They're getting the Yoshi ride, which Japan has. We don't here in Hollywood. And they're going to have the Donkey Kong expansion with that ride, which is a roller coaster, which also Japan has and we don't have. So we're kind of stuck logistically with just one ride and 4 mini games. Yeah, not too great. So we need another Nintendo expansion, and it needs to happen sooner than later. Because if not, we're destined to we're destined to lose our momentum that we have with Disney. But so Orange Grove 55, he says Luigi's Mansion would be really cool. I would agree with you 100%. 100%. But I do have to quote Mr. Weber, though. He wants Star Fox. He wants Star Fox. But I'm not opposed to Luigi's Mansion either. I love Luigi's Mansion. I used to play that all the time. I used to, on my GameCube and whatnot, I used to play that all night long. Like if I went to school on Friday, I would literally spend Friday night at 8 o'clock at night, eat dinner, and literally spend until 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning playing Luigi's Mansion. So believe me, Luigi's Mansion would be amazing land. There's so many possibilities they could do with that, and especially bring new characters, like actual characters, like meet and greets, like Boo and a whole bunch of characters, a whole bunch. So I would really like to see that happen. Mr. Weber says, I really enjoy The Mummy, but E.T. was such a great dark ride. Yes, I agree with you. E.T. was a great dark ride. And if Hollywood was going to bring back E.T., I was telling Mr. Weber this last night at Universal. I said they need to make it a dark ride like it once was, but they need to make it more like what Disney did in Tokyo, where you, like, for example, you have the Peter Pan attraction, where it's a high tech. I'm gonna consider it a high tech dark ride where you have physical sets, animatronics, and screens. So you have the best of all 3. So if ET was going to do that, if they were going to bring back ET, I would like them to do it in that format. So Orange Go 55, yes, Conductor said the same thing. I did say the same thing. But yeah. What else do I want to talk about? There was something else. Ooh. Okay, let me ask you guys this, since OG, you're in the chat right now. Webba, you're in the chat right now because I asked Jesse this. What would you guys think about bringing the Born Spectacular to Hollywood? And if you were going to bring it as the second show to replace special effects or replace animal actors, where would you put it? Jesse pointed out to me, though, the building itself, where it houses the actual show, the one in Orlando, is massive. So the DreamWorks Theater, unfortunately, it wouldn't fit there. It's too big. So where else would you guys put it? If you had an option, where would you put it? Me personally, Jesse was saying that it needs to go in a sound stage, but I was pointing out to Jesse, I said, well, all the sound stages behind Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Transformers, Mummy, Jurassic, all those old sound stages, they're all destined to be torn down. And that's all going to be theme park space or theme park expansion. So if they do have to put it in a soundstage, they have to find a soundstage that is not going to be in the way of a theme park expansion or a new land coming to Hollywood. Or I was thinking they could enclose the area where they had that cowboy restaurant, literally right outside the entrance to Universal. They can enclose that whole area and possibly build the Born Spectacular right there. I don't know how logistically that would work, but it could be possible. They could enclose that area and they could do it. I just don't know if that area is big enough for it. So that's something that I would throw out. Let's see. Mr. Weber said, beef short rib. Oh, I hear you. I was actually craving that last night, Webba. I almost went in there before I met up with you and Theme Park Wizard, and I almost went in there and got that. Either that or the freaking Bowser's Challenge big meatball. I was really craving it. I should have, but I restrained myself. I wanted that popcorn bucket. So let me go to Jesse real quick, OG. Jesse said the Bourne show is roughly the same size show building as Transformers, maybe a bit bigger. Okay, so it definitely wouldn't fit in that area where the Cowboy restaurant once was. So it definitely has to go on the soundstage. It's just what soundstage and where on the lower lot is the question. So thanks for pointing that out. I wasn't sure because, again, I haven't been to Orlando's theme park, so I haven't experienced it myself. One of these days, I will force myself to fly out there and check it out. Orange Girl 55 says, yeah, I'd put it where Saddleback or Saddle Ranch used to be, maybe even charge for it and have it part of City Walk's entertainment offerings. That could be possible. I don't see that being a bad thing. But it wouldn't be a bad thing. I'd be open to that. The one thing I would say though is City Walk has a lot of closed locations at the moment. So like the old nightclub that's been closed for a while. You have the old location where Starbucks temporarily was. And then before that, it was the Carl Strauss restaurant. And then before that, back in the early 2000s, it was a massive restaurant. So you got that. And then you have Sombra's, which is directly behind Twosomes that's been vacant. That's another restaurant. So, but yeah, I'm definitely open to that. So we'll see what happens. OG also said bigger than Transformers. That's huge. Yeah. I wasn't thinking it was that building was going to be that big, but if it is, it's almost sounding like the old oh geez, the old Gibson amphitheater that used to be where Harry Potter sits now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That size or close to it. Jesse also said, "Yeah, you have to experience the Velocicoaster. It's life changing. 2 minutes." You know what? You're absolutely right. I do have to experience it. I do want to experience it. I am a huge, well, a decent sized Jurassic Park fan. So I really do want to definitely experience the Velocicoaster. So I definitely have to, kick it into high gear and figure out a way to fly to Orlando and check out Orlando. Definitely. He also said, "I hope that the Fast and Furious coaster will live up to Velocicoaster." It seems like it is. It's gonna. I think they were saying it's gonna have 6 inversions on the track. So that's gonna be interesting. And then the cars are gonna the cars are actually gonna twist and kind of like drift along the track. So it's almost giving me the vibes of Cosmic Rewind mixed in with Velocicoaster. And again, I haven't been to Orlando, period, either for Universal or Walt Disney World. So that's from videos I've seen of both rides. That's the vibes it's giving me is Velocicoaster mixed in with Cosmic Rewind. So we'll see. I really do hope it lives up to the expectations because Fast and Furious really needs a how can I put it? It really needs a lift. And what I mean by lift, I mean like encouragement because out here in Hollywood, I'm sorry, but Supercharged sucks. When it first came, hey, it was great. I loved it. Now it's like, oh God, now we're going through this area. Can we just skip this? Because sometimes it gives you a headache. So, and then obviously the Supercharged in Orlando, they're not getting enough attendance through that attraction, so they're closing it. Not permanently, but they're closing it a lot to save money on energy costs and all that. So it's not even productive out there. So Orange Go 55 says, any updates to the hotel that Universal is getting? So I talked to Theme Park Wizard OG last night. He hasn't heard anything. The last he heard was that they were finalizing the deal to get all of the material and supplies from either Lowe's or Home Depot that's close by. And that's the last he heard. So I'm hoping they start construction sometime in the fall of this year, or if not, the beginning of next year, because I feel it kind of needs to happen. Because I was saying earlier in my live stream tonight that for the Olympics, if all Universal is going to get at this point is the hotel and the roller coaster, yeah, I don't think that's going to be good enough. I think we need to get at least another, either a land, another attraction, something massive, because a roller coaster, which I'm not saying I'm not grateful that we are getting a roller coaster, but a roller coaster and a on-site hotel to me is not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. They need to add more. They need to add more. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Jesse says, if you go, definitely stay for at least 4 days for both Universal parks. you need at least 2 days for each park to fully experience. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I have a buddy of mine, him and his wife moved out to Orlando probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and he actually works for Walt Disney World. He is a he actually does he works with pyrotechnics for Walt Disney World for the shows that they do out there. So yeah, definitely 2 days each for both parks. But yeah, I definitely want to experience both parks. Universal more than anything because of Velocicoaster. But definitely also Walt Disney World. Probably if I had to choose between the 4 parks, it'd probably be Epcot for me. That's probably what I would look at. But let's see. Mr. Webber says that show would be cool. Universal does great with their special effects and action sets. I also want to experience that coaster in Orlando. Yeah, you know what? OG, I know you're in the chat. We have to plan something. Me, you, Webba, and Theme Park Wizard, we have to plan something. And George, of course. We definitely have to plan a trip. I would really love to do that. That'd be fun. It also would be a great chance for me personally to visit my friend that moved out there with his wife and see him. But yeah, definitely I want to do that. OG says, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'm down. We just got to plan it out. I just got to know way far in advance so I can request time off and do all that logistics stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely down. But yeah, it just I don't know. I'm hopeful that Hollywood has more planned for planned for more experiences for the theme park. So I really hope that a hotel and a roller coaster is not all we're getting before the Olympics. I really hope not, because that would be very disappointing. So hopefully that is not the case. Orange Grove says you'll love Epcot. You know what? I've been dying to go to Epcot. I want to go to Epcot so bad. So yeah, I feel like I would absolutely love Epcot. Now, I forgot. Is Epcot, I forgot, is Tomorrowland in Epcot? If it is, I definitely want to do the People Mover. Mr. Webber says, yeah, we'll head out. Again, it was great hanging out with you, Theme Park Conductor. It was a blast. Everyone made sure to hit that like button and subscribe to his channel. Again, thank you, Mr. Webber. Thank you, Orange Grove 55. Thank you, Jesse. Everyone that watched my live stream. We are actually past 2 hours now. I didn't even think I was going to last this long because I'm still trying to recuperate from last night. But I'm very blessed and very happy that everyone joined tonight's live. And again, I will be doing a video with OG on Monday. More than likely, it'll probably be put out Tuesday. So definitely keep an eye on that. And definitely, like I've said, and I've repeated myself a couple times tonight, definitely check out OG 55 channel. Again, amazing content creator. He covers everything, whether it's Bob Iger or, as he likes to call it, Daddy Josh. Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disneyland Forward, anything to do with Disney, anything to do with Universal. He puts it out there. He's a great guy. Also, Mr. Webber, another great content creator. Definitely follow him. Definitely subscribe to his channel. But yeah, two amazing content creators. I absolutely cherish you guys very, very, very much. OG says Tomorrowland is in Magic Kingdom, but People Mover is still there. It was awesome. Okay, so I'll definitely have to check that out. He also said Universal needs more to justify that hotel. They need to open more attractions in the yeah. I 100% agree with that. So we'll see what happens. Jesse says when we went to Universal Orlando, we stayed at the on-site hotel called Endless Summer. It was great. It was only $115 a night, and you get 1 hour early access for the parks, plus a great view from your room. Okay, I'm down. Jesse, thank you for that information, because I probably will do that. That will be a great selling point to me, especially with the 1 hour early access. Orange Go 55 says, thank you. No, thank you, OG. You're always a great dear friend of mine, and you will always be a great dear friend of mine. Also, appreciate you. No, I appreciate you. And loving these lives. Keep it up, brother. I will. And I talked to the live stream earlier today, since we've been going on 2 hours now. I'm going to be doing these every Thursday, and I'm calling them Conductor Thursdays. That's what I'm going to start doing every Thursday at 7 p.m. So definitely look out for that. Also, OG, I was asking the live earlier. I did change my my YouTube logo. What do you think? Do you like it? Not like it? Compared to the old one? If you do like it, let me know. Because I like it. I think it's unique. I think it's very well designed. And I think I'm going to move forward and start making shirts and jackets and coffee cups and hats and stuff like that. I think it would be a great emblem on some apparel. So you say, I love it. It's eye-catching, great color scheme. Yep, that's all I needed. See, that's why you are the OG 55. That is why I value your opinion and your opinion only, because you have that citrus news that never goes wrong, in my opinion, at least. The yellow and the black really pops. Actually, that yellow, believe it or not, it's actually gold. It's actually gold. I was able to find that. So, yeah, it does really pop. And Jesse says new logo looks great. Yeah, compared to the old one, I 100% agree with that, because the old one kind of looked a little complicated. And I was having issues trying to go on certain sites trying to put that on a shirt. So that was kind of a nightmare. So this one is a lot easier, and I've been playing with it all day today before the live. So I definitely will do that. But again, I want to thank everyone that joined tonight's live, and I really appreciate all the support, the love, the comments, everyone that follows me on my YouTube channel, on my social medias, all the content creators, OG 55, Weba, Five Fires Mondo, the Italiano, David from Fresh Baked, Theme Park Wizard. There's just so many content creators I've interacted with. You guys are all great. You guys are like a family to me. And anytime I run into a roadblock, you guys are always there to help out. And I could not be any more grateful if I tried. So thank you all, because with your support, you encourage me to do this every single week. And I cannot be any more grateful. To everyone, have a great night. Stay safe. And I will catch you guys on Conductor Thursdays starting tonight and every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Have a good night.